Alright, hey guys, so I have a little story to read. I wrote it just so I could, get all the information because it was a hectic day I've been having. And, I'm just gonna read it off. It's about 4 paragraphs, so it's pretty funny. This happened all today. So, here we go. So the other day I was driving down my street when I saw a squirrel dead in the road. But it was on its back like a cartoon animal and wasn't squashed at all. So I've been wondering for like 3 days now how it died. And I still don't know. Maybe he thought he was a flying squirrel and leaped off the tree and failed it up onto a windshield of a car and flopped into the street. If that's the case, fail squirrel. After coming to the conclusion that squirrels don't really have the capability of abstract thought, and he was most likely unable to actually think of himself as a flying squirrel, I gave up on that whole idea. So I'm left today wondering how the cartoon death of that squirrel came to be. After I came to that realization, I started to think about that car commercial where the 2 squirrels play chicken with the car causing it to crash, and I was laughing to myself thinking how sucky it would be if that would happen to me. But today I had my iPod plugged into my Jeep, and I just threw a simple cord, and I had my iPod in a cup holder. I was down the street from my house, jamming out to some fat beats, when I see a cute squirrel on the curb of the street. Being the nice guy I am, I sped it up a little bit. Now I hit the brakes, and so I didn't kill it. So on my arrival to his position, he decided to leap in front of my Jeep. Acting quick, I slammed on my brakes, slowing down to about 10 miles an hour. The squirrel leaped to the left side of the road. After I was sure he wasn't attached to my tire after splattered on my grill, I sped back up. But at the same time, he leaped back into my lane, causing me to slam on my brakes once again. But this time, I went down to a complete stop, causing my iPod to fly across my Jeep, ram into my metal doors, then bounce off, getting jammed in the bracket that holds my seat in. So I almost broke my $300 iPod to save a squirrel. I'm a good person and you know it. The same frickin' day, I was on my way to WENDYS to grab myself a 99-cent double stack no pickle. On my way to the drive-thru, some fat lady decided that my huge yellow Jeep blends in with the blacktop of the parking lot. So she floors it in front of me, and as her eyes met with my very angry eyes, she started to flail her arms around her head with her mouth open, not hitting her brakes. As I was blowing my horn and slamming on my brakes, she sped off without even a sorry wave. But I did get to enjoy seeing a fat lady in a minivan flail her arms like a wild monkey wanting a banana, with her large mouth hanging wide open. As I returned home to park in the cul-de-sac in front of my house, I arrived only to find a huge truck parked in my spot. Not only was he in my spot, he was parked in the middle of a frickin' cul-de-sac. So, being the lazy person I am, I decided to not back up like a civilized human being, and instead to hop up the curb of the island in the middle and drive around the big truck. After angrily flooring down my street and turning into my alley to park in my driveway, I arrived only to find that there were 4 cars already squeezed in my driveway. Furious, I called my mom saying, "I have nowhere to park." And she replied by saying, "Well, I'm not home." "Then why are your cars in my spot?" So, after driving around for about 10 minutes back and forth trying to find somewhere to frickin' park so I could enjoy my windy goodies, the truck pulled out of my spot so I parked there and went in. After turning on the TV to relax from a hard day at school, I unwrapped my 99-cent double stack to nom it. After my first bite, a huge pickle slid out and flopped onto my chin, and since I absolutely can't stand pickles, I started to gross out bad, flailing my arms around, not wanting to touch the pickle. As I was in this process, I was reminded of the lady in the minivan and couldn't help myself and just started bursting out laughing. So, that's what happened to me today. Fun day. Time to be honest. Some of this did happen, a little bit overdramatic. It's actually a test. If you watched the whole video up to now, I'm proud. Good job. Real subscriber. But after looking at my inside and looking at when people start to stop watching the video, they usually get about a minute in and stop watching. So this is just going to be a test to confirm that. I'm going to see how many comments are only about my new haircut and not about the story. If they were listening, most people would comment about the story. So if you've listened, don't comment about my hair. You can send me a message if you really want to say something, but don't comment about my hair if you watch all the way to the end. So it's a test, and if you fail it, shame on you.